we always do this. I give you some concepts, about 26 of them, but I try to pull out a couple of them each time we teach to give you some other things to look at when you get ready to receive the word. Because everything that we receive, we got to filter it through the concepts of the kingdom. That changes everything. It's difficult to understand the Bible or scriptures without having the concepts of the kingdom on the inside. It's very difficult. And what is a concept? Is a conceived idea or thought. And what does a concept, what's the next? You got a 6-stage conformity. You all know it. The first one is the precept or the beginning thought or the idea. And once that precept is received, it becomes my what? Concept. That is what I have conceived in my mind that's going to affect my belief system. Concepts. Con, will, self, the thought. Right? All right. And those concepts will produce convictions. Convictions is developing and impacting and building my belief system. Right? Yeah. And my belief system is full of ideologies. And those ideologies, the things I think about, is going to determine my philosophy, which is telling me how I'm going to live. So when we look at things, the way we think right now, and our belief system, if it has contaminants of religion in it, and all of us, we have it, and we're getting it out of there as much as we can, then if it's there, my philosophy, the way I think and act, is going to be based on those original ideas that I received. So it's a 6-stage conformity, and we normally put it up there, but this is how you discern yourself, examine yourself. I always ask why I think the way that I think. Why are we doing what we are doing? I mean, why? Where did it come from? And this is where scholars will always check things out and study it. And if it's not a result of a concept of the kingdom, then we got to get it out. Now, I can't get it out if I don't have a concept. So I just want to say that to reemphasize how important it is to understand the concepts that we're about to share with you right here. And we're going to get into the teaching. So here's just a couple of them. Concepts are the foundation of thought and ideas that produce and form beliefs. The most important principle, and this is what we teach, principle. I don't get into all the other stuff, because principles never change. And they are always here, always be here, and they'll work for you if you put them into practice for yourself. The most important principle of the kingdom is what? Obedience and submission to the kingdom government. Now, we'll have dual citizenship. We're citizens of heaven, and we're citizens of the United States of America, right? All right. If you're born again, you're a citizen of heaven, if you didn't know that. All right. So it's submission to the kingdom government. This is the key to what? Kingdom success. Without obedience and submission to the government of the kingdom, there is no success. So Elohim cannot bless a mess. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And these are concepts. All right. The scriptures are the constitution of the government of the kingdom of Elohim and the source of righteousness for citizens. The what are? I didn't say the Bible. I said the scriptures. The Bible can contain translations of some of the books of the scripture. And I'm going to show you later on what happened with that and show you how we don't have them all and who is responsible for the canonized books that we have now. You probably know, but you'll be shocked when you find out. All right. Citizens' obligation and responsibility is to do what? Submit to the what? Government of heaven, obey the laws of the land. Yeshua measures our status in the kingdom by how we keep the what? Now, that's a law. That's a bad word in the Christian ears. In religious ears, that law. No, law is passed, and law this, and law that, and law the other. Well, there are kingdom laws. And we're not making reference direct to the Torah, what happened with that. I'm just trying to resist going into all of that. The Greeks did a hatchet job. They took the Greek word nomos, which means laws, actually legal laws, and put the entire Tanakh and all the kingdom laws into that one word so you can make a distinction what he's talking about when you see the word law. Here's one, when Sheol was teaching and concerning, don't get into arguments about genealogies and this and that and the other. And then he said about the law, that word should be actually scribes. In the original text, Torah is not used. Scribes, because scribes and Pharisees was the one that was fussing and arguing. That's just one example. But if you read it from the translation and trust them, we'll be thinking, oh, that's just arguing about the law. You can't keep the law, blah, blah, blah. And it's just ignorance. I mean, they just did a number on us. Okay? Kingdom citizen is dual citizenship. Did I switch? Oh, I'm going on down the road. Kingdom citizenship is dual citizenship. The key to kingdom citizenship is obedience to the government and law. Law-abiding citizens love Elohim, submit to the authority of the laws and principles, and live lives of righteousness, reaping all the benefits of the law-abiding citizen. I didn't say one thing about praise him till you bless him, because that's not a concept. These are the concepts, and this is why the enemy wants us ignorant. He don't want us reading. He don't want us study it. You know, in Matthew 13, around 10, Yeshua talked to the crowds in parabolic language, and then his scholars, he told them exactly what he was talking about, didn't he? And he said, to you it has been given to know the mysteries of the what? Of the kingdom. He didn't say the Bible. Of the what? Of the kingdom. To you, he qualified the people that will receive understanding of the kingdom as being scholars. Those to you who have invested, walked away from your business, following me, want so passionately my school of thought, my way of teaching. You want this so bad that you will walk away from stuff and invest in to get what you want. Everybody else just wanted a miracle. They want some bread. They want some water. I'm just going to talk to you so you can't understand, because you really don't want the illumination of the revelation. So I'm going to put it so you can't understand, because if you do, I'm going to have to save you. If I do that, I'm going to violate my own integrity and my principles, which require for a person to want the word. If you don't want it, it will violate his own holiness and integrity to give it to you. It sounds kind of hard when you read it. Like, at least if I teach you, you're going to get saved. I'm going to have to say, well, I thought he came to save us. Okay. All right. Well, that's just one. Let's move on. Those are concepts. Here's another one. The colonization of earth by the kingdom of heaven is the main message of the Bible or scriptures expressed by Yeshua the Messiah. This message must return to its place of preeminence in the theology of the 21st century. I use church congregation without compromise. It is the message that is the ultimate reason for the return of Yeshua the Messiah, the Lord, to the earth. Matthew 6:10, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom do what? Come. That is not a religious statement there. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is a powerful verse because it contains some powerful concepts, some precepts that we need to get into us and formulate our belief system. Because if it's not establishing his will in the earth, why are we doing it? You seeing it? These concepts are powerful. We get these. When you start reading, you'll be, wait a minute. Hold on. What happened? How did they come up with this? How did they come up with that? Here's one, the word Christian. Used 3 times in the New King James Version and the King James Version, right? The word disciple or scholar is used over 276 times. Now, Yeshua never said, he did not say Christian. He never said it. He did not even say ecclesia. That's a Greek political term. The precept. Go back and find out where that word come from. He spoke Hebrew. He wasn't talking no Greek. They taught me in the seminary that, well, he spoke Greek, and the translators wrote, they say Hebrew writers wrote the New Testament, where actually the Messianic scriptures, because the term New Testament was coined by Bishop Melito, a Catholic bishop of Sardis, back around 150 A.D. Prior to that, it was the Messianic scriptures. I'm going to show you how that's racism too, racist. Okay, but Yeshua, they told us that Hebrew writers wrote from the original Greek text, the New Testament. That's what they told us. Now, all these scholars out, and I got a Hebrew Aramaic Bible at the house of the Messianic scriptures. There's an Ethiopic version, Ethiopic, Black, African version that's older than the Greek translation. The Greek is not the original. That's why, I'm going to give you all this, and you're going to see how racism, systemic racism, is heavily embedded in a theological, philosophical way of teaching that has founded Christianity and the church. Don't get mad at me now. Don't get mad. Now, let's look at this, the root of racial hatred. Okay, the root of what? And I got some pictures here because I'm going to deal with this later, but we just, y'all can blame my wife. I didn't do that. She did that. Okay. Because, she have to hold me back. I put the raw stuff up. I ain't here. So she was nice with it, but I'm showing you a picture of a religious bishop. Y'all see that? All right. And I'm glad you did that, because Christianity, the religion of Christianity, was started by the Roman government, who appointed bishops in the church. I know you knew that already. I know you thought, the bishop, like Peter, Bishop, a case of Peter bishopry, run all the way back to Peter being the first pope of the church and blah, blah, blah. Nope and nope. Do your research, you'll find out all of those are lies. And this same religion, if you are Protestant, Catholic, Baptist, Church of God in Christ, Church of Christ, whatever you are, you're still a Catholic. You're just rebelling against some of the tenets that the Catholic Church teach. You're still a Catholic.